Hello there. Our group is here to discuss holistic care for nurses, nursing students, and patients. We all sometimes find ourselves in a situation where stress and burnout take hold and start to negatively impact our physical, intellectual, emotional, social, and spiritual well-being. This could be a situation in the clinical setting with too many patients under your care and a staff shortage. Or it could be that your chronic illness has suffered an exacerbation that landed you in the hospital. Either way, you are experiencing feelings and physical effects of burnout, compassion fatigue, stress, and perhaps feelings of being overwhelmed. This is why we need to practice holistic self-care and encourage and educate our patients on how to engage in holistic self-care as well. Holistic nursing is a way of being that recognizes and honors the mind, body, spirit, environment connection. Holistic nursing focuses on the whole health and well-being of the nurse, client, and the planet. Holistic nursing also recognizes the nurse as an instrument of healing or a facilitator in the healing process. The first step to holistic care is to identify the situation or potential situation that may be causing the stress and feelings of being overwhelmed, and then implement new strategies to facilitate coping and promote good health outcomes. There are many factors that impact our health and the ability to engage in holistic self-care. Some of these include the social determinants of health for both nurses and patients, identifying the risk management strategies, and educating the patient and the nurse about community and agency health promotion resources is key to preventing burnout and stress.
In the next few slides, we will be analyzing social determinants of health and healthy behaviors related to holistic self-care from a nurse and patient perspective. Social determinants of health are collective sets of conditions in which people are born, grow up, live, and work in. These can include housing, which, for example, will determine the relative distance to the grocery store, education, which can impact health literacy, income, security, environment, and the health system. There are many more social determinants of health, and they will be reflected in the next couple of slides. A key determinant of health that affects physical self-care for nurses would be their occupation. Careers that are physically and mentally demanding may impede one's ability to put aside time to practice self-care. One may only be able to meet basic physiological needs such as air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, and reproduction, as laid out by Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Secondly, time constraints may be a factor. Many jobs in healthcare, including nursing, can be accompanied with a rigorous schedule, which can affect a nurse's ability to put aside time to perform physical activities, cook healthy meals, and fulfill other needs. Intellectual self-care refers to taking care of one's sense of understanding, learning, and curiosity. Prioritization is one of the biggest barriers of intellectual self-care. This type of self-care can include reading a book, listening to a podcast, broadening and refreshing nursing knowledge with academic journals and research, or exploring other topics of interest. A nurse may fail to prioritize due to financial stress, which would drive them to work more hours, or exhaustion from working these long hours. Unfortunately, it appears to present itself in a manner. Emotional self-care refers to the act of becoming aware of and identifying what you are feeling and allowing yourselves to channel those. Nursing is a stressful job that is physically and cognitively demanding. Practice and intention is the key to maintaining a work-life balance. However, this is still a foreign concept to many nurses. Without the balance, it is difficult to tend to one's emotional needs. This can show up in many ways, including burnouts, lashing out at family and friends, isolation, or even psychiatric emergencies. Secondly, Moral distress is common within the profession. This is defined as the guilt, concern, frustration, and distress experienced when nurses cannot fulfill their ethical obligations or commitments. Some situations may be beyond their control and be difficult to deal with, resulting in moral residue. Many nurses may not have a support system that understand the scope of their profession. Make debriefing, which is a necessary aspect of nursing as a career, difficult. Again, time and energy constraints can be a factor affecting social self-care. For some people, spirituality can help in coping with illness, inflict a sense of hope, and inform one's sense of health beliefs. Childhood experiences and upbringing may influence one's attitude towards spirituality. Some ways a patient can fulfill their physical self-care needs include getting enough sleep, exercising, and taking prescribed medications. Social determinants also affect sleep duration and quality, which may in turn contribute to poorer health and well-being. Some examples of social determinants of health that appear to affect sleep are race, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, neighborhood safety, light exposure, and exposure to media and technology. Income is another social determinant of health that can prevent them from exercising or buying prescription medications. Access to education and health literacy is integral in fulfilling intellectual self-care. Research shows that barriers of self-care behaviors related to making good treatment decisions and participating in treatment were those having less than a high school education, those that are 75 years and older, and those that are separated from a spouse. For emotional self-care, lack of resources and culture are big influences. Resources are things such as a counselor, trusted friends or family, and methods to tend to emotional needs. Some cultures also have fixed beliefs about experiencing and expressing emotions. One could be deprived or steered to believe that emotional and mental well-being is far less important than physical well-being. These individuals are then conditioned to abandon their concerns regarding their mental health. One's financial situation may determine how much socialization they are involved in. Going out, making connections, and having meaningful relationships is important to human development. Research shows that socializing not only staves off feelings of loneliness, but also helps sharpen memory and cognitive skills, increases your sense of happiness and well-being, and may even help you live longer. From a patient's perspective, spiritual self-care may be more important to nurture than a nurse's at times. It is the patient and their families that face life-changing diagnoses, prognoses, and treatment. Some may find hope and peace when leaning on spiritual and religious needs. Some determinants of health that affects one's ability to practice spiritual self-care can include childhood upbringing and experiences, and lack of support, which can lead to hopelessness.
Nurses encounter many different challenges in their career that can lead to physical and mental distress. A vital part of caring for yourself as a nurse is with holistic self-care. This involves caring for your physical, intellectual, emotional, social, and spiritual parts of yourself. In order for you as a nurse to provide the best care to your patients, you must remember to take care of you. An important aspect of physical care includes sleep. Often as a nurse, you are working shift work. This can be extremely challenging on your body. Some strategies to improve sleep include setting a sleep schedule and using trial and error to develop a sleep pattern that works best for you. You could also make sure to create the right environment. This includes using blackout curtains, maybe turning a white noise machine on, making sure your phone is on Do Not Disturb, and making sure other family members in your house are aware that you're going to be resting so that they can be quiet while you sleep. It can also be beneficial to create a routine you perform before going to bed, such as having a hot shower, maybe doing some deep breathing, maybe reading a small amount of a book, and possibly having a small cup of herbal tea, but nothing with caffeine to keep you awake. It's also extremely important to make sure you're exercising on a regular basis, even if it's just a 5-minute walk a day. This will help with your overall physical health, but can also assist in decreasing anxiety and depression. Some forms of exercise that you could participate in include walking, yoga, spin, weightlifting, swimming, and more. It's really about finding a form of exercise you enjoy and look forward to. It's also important to stimulate your intellectual self, including learning and curiosity. Forms of this could include reading a new book, taking a course, enrolling yourself in a creativity class such as pottery or painting, and listening to a podcast that interests you. As for your emotional self, you must be aware of your emotions and what you need to continue being the best nurse you can. It's really about awareness, but this could include taking time off work, maybe taking a vacation or planning a vacation so it's something you look forward to where you get to relax and decompress, utilizing counseling resources, and finding other outlets to deal with your challenging emotions. Some people use exercise, so those two would tie together. As for the social aspects of yourself, make sure you are able to lean on family or friends and are able to confide in them when you're feeling overwhelmed. With these people, you can discuss challenges and feelings, and they can also help as an outlet for you to do something other than nursing, and maybe you can go to a restaurant and just have time to enjoy another's company without worrying about another's life. As for the spiritual aspects of yourself, although everybody may not be fully spiritual, some people do find it beneficial. Some examples of health promotion for spiritual wellness include practicing mindfulness, maybe meditation, or if it serves you, you could reach out to spiritual guidance support such as priests, or maybe there's a different religion you follow that is best for you, and spending time with those groups where you feel supported. Remember, as a nurse, it's extremely important to prioritize yourself so you can be the best nurse you can.
The patient here, JB, is experiencing feelings of loneliness. He is feeling very overwhelmed as he has been in the hospital for 12 days now. Nurse Jessie is wanting to promote self-care strategies using a holistic approach. The holistic approach focuses on 5 categories, including physical, intellectual, emotional, social, and spiritual. Physical strategies include assisting the patient to go for a walk if assistance is required. This can make the patient feel less trapped since they are able to get out of bed and move around. Encouragement to get up and perform ADLs to promote independent personal care. Providing sleep aids when necessary and letting the patient sleep. Getting adequate sleep can improve energy levels and mood, and this can also improve concentration. Intellectual strategies include giving the patient opportunities to make decisions for themselves, which promotes autonomy. Providing the patient with mental puzzles like Sudoku. Sudoku is a great way to challenge the mind. While doing mind puzzles like Sudoku, the brain is fully focused on the task of finishing the puzzle as opposed to the source of the anxiety. Emotional strategies include guiding a mindfulness exercise with the patient. Mindfulness can help the patient feel more control of a situation by teaching the brain to respond as opposed to react in a negative way to these situations. Social strategies include encouraging the patient to connect with family and friends to keep a social network of people where they have the support of loved ones while they're in a vulnerable state. Visiting or even simply talking with family and friends can make the patient feel less lonely by providing a friendly face or voice to speak with. Spiritual strategies include providing resources for spiritual health services if the patient is interested, facilitate cultural practices to the best you can using a non-biased and non-judgmental approach. This can help the patient diminish feelings of loneliness by deepening their relationship with themselves or even possibly a higher power.
A way to implement holistic self-care measures for our patients is by providing them with community resources as nurses. So to implement physical self-care, this can be achieved through maintaining a nutritional diet. And a resource to help achieve this includes Supermarket Nutritional Tours, which is offered at Save on Foods. They have a team of registered dietitians who help show individuals how to really confront those food labels, learning how to read them and how to make healthier food decisions. Also, they help individuals manage conditions such as heart disease, digestive issues, food allergies, or intolerance, and this is done through creating special dietary requirements. These tours are also offered to organized groups such as community health programs, newcomers, immigrants, and English language programs as well. And to sign up, all you have to do is go on the Save on Foods website. Spiritual self-care can be maintained through taking time to worship, pursuing spiritual practices, and reflecting on spiritual faith and gratitude. A resource that can help implement this is utilizing spiritual healthcare professionals in our community, and Fraser Health provides the service. These individuals are trained to provide spiritual as well as emotional support to our patients and to our families. The psychological stress that is placed on families during stressful times creates feelings of helplessness, despair, loss, and a lack of control. So utilizing spiritual health professionals is a perfect way to implement family-centered care, as they increase resiliency and wellness through support during those difficult times. They're available in person and they're available on call. They are also known to partner up with Aboriginal and Indigenous healthcare professionals. And if an individual would like to register for a visit with a spiritual community leader at Fraser Health, they would need to contact their email, which is spiritual.health@fraserhealth.ca, and is also posted on the PowerPoint. Emotional self-care can be achieved through pursuing mindfulness and relaxation techniques. And a resource we can provide our patients is downloading this app called the Mindfulness app. So this app's initiative is to really help personalize your experience and has a setting where you can set what you're trying to achieve with this app. Examples include to reduce stress, or to increase your focus, or to work through my emotions. This app is actually on the Fraser Health website and is approved by Fraser Health. I have attached an example of guided meditation, so let's take a listen.
So let's start by coming into this moment, however you are. Take a moment to establish yourself as best you can in a posture that embodies dignity, whether you are sitting on a chair, on the floor, or even lying down. Allowing the eyes to close gently, and turning your attention into the body and beginning to notice all of the places where your body is being supported by something solid. It could be the cushion underneath your seat, the chair, the floor, the bed, and just opening your attention to whatever the sensations of that support is.
There are many different resources for employees of Fraser Health to access to aid in their holistic self-care. This includes the My Health app, which is a health and wellness application that any Fraser Health employee can access. Through the app, users can access resources relating to mental, physical, work, family and life, and financial health. Employees can access counseling through the LifeWorks Employee and Family Assistance Program, early intervention resources for treatment for substance use, and resources to help improve mental fitness. These are just a few of the resources available through the My Health app. Sometimes one might need assistance identifying areas of concern or stressors. To help with this, the My Health app offers a general health and wellness assessment that guides one through reflections about their physical, mental, social, and financial well-being. Based on the assessment, the app, partnered with LifeWorks, provides the employee with various resources that are relevant to their situation. There are countless articles available on different topics, such as 10 tips for fitting work and life together, tips for getting organized at work and at home, coping with loneliness, and top 10 tips for building a strong relationship. Users can access resources relating to family, health, life, money, and work. Each section provides articles, podcasts, videos, and relevant supplemental resources to help the user achieve their wellness goals. For example, in the money section, users have access to a budget worksheet to help manage the stress of finances. Users can also connect with a counselor confidentially through the app, either through the chat function or by calling. There are also topic-specific programs that employees can participate in. Users can read or listen to these programs at their own pace. There are interactive tools and videos to support the user and help them get their well-being back on track. For example, the stress program helps users learn how to reduce stress through positive coping strategies, like breathing exercises, mindfulness, and physical activity. We encourage you to take the time to explore what health and wellness resources your employer offers. To learn more about the My Health app and all that it has to offer, go to the Employee Resources tab in Pulse and click My Health under the Employee Apps section. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this video. As you can see, there is a lot that goes into promoting holistic self-care among the patients we work with, as well as engaging in holistic care for ourselves. Recognizing the social determinants of health is just the first step in being able to help our patients, or ourselves, develop strategies to engage in holistic self-care. There are many different strategies for patients and for nurses, and identifying risks helps us to manage them when they arise. We have outlined a few community resources available to patients and work resources available to nurses, and we encourage you to continue to explore what else is available.